So continuing with the column basis, we have axially loaded base plates. We were discussing about this. So you have a W section columns. Those are considered here that are centered over the base plate and the reinforced concrete footing. So generally the W section columns are used for that particular purpose. The following nomenclature will be used for the design. Once we are going to be starting with those, then we may have the TP, that is represent the base plate thickness. Then we may have FP, that is the bearing stresses under the base plate. Then we have capital B, that is going to be give you the base plate size parallel to the flange of the W section. Then we have capital N, that is the plate size parallel to the web of the section. So that is very important. So if we are going to be draw a figure over here, that is going to explain you in a very good manner that if this is the plan view of your base plate, then you can see your column W section. So in one way it may be connected with the base plate in this orientation, and if you are going to be change the orientation, then there may be a case when this W section may be connected like this. Okay, so whatever the case is, so your B will be the base plate size parallel to the flange of the section. So here, if wherever the flange of the column is, that direction will be B for this particular case, and along the web the dimension of the base plate is going to be called as capital N. So if this is the orientation, then this will be the B. The B and N now will be reversed. So it will be B and it will be N, capital N. So W sections are considered here that is the repetition. So you have to keep this thing in your mind that this lecture is about the axially loaded base plate. Okay, the first case, the movement case we are not discussing over here. There are no movement for the base plate. We are considering just the axially loaded base plate when you have the pure axial load P without the eccentricities and without the movements. So you have 0.80 BF considered in the design. That is going to give you the supported base plate dimension parallel to the flange, and 0.95 D will be the supported base plate dimension parallel to the depth of the section. So out of the total of the depth and the BF, we are considering just 80% of the width of the flange to consider our B in direction. That will be the supported base plate. Mean if the support of the base plate is required, then there will be no overturning in that particular portion where the 80% of the BF has been considered. And for along the web, the 95% of the web dimension is going to be considered supported for the base plate where no overturning has been produced. Small n will be the overhang of the base plate parallel to the flange and is considered as B minus 0.80 BF divided by 2. And M is the overhang of the base plate parallel to the column depth. So to understand this M and N, I can draw a figure again. So if this is the base plate and this is the column. Okay, so anywhere here parallel to the web, you may have 0.95 of D. Okay, and parallel to the flange, that will be supported length, that will be 0.80 of BF. Okay, so now this total dimension starting from here till these both edges, it will be equal to N, capital N, and this dimension parallel to the flange, this is equal to capital B. Okay, so if this is the particular case, then your M and N is the individual overhang. Okay, overhang mean starting from the supported edge of supported part of the flange, okay, this one, till the edge of your base plate. It is equal to your M, and this overhang part is equal to N, small n. Okay, so how to calculate that for the small n? Okay, so it will be sorry, I have I think written reversely, 0.95 d. This will be M and this will be N, parallel to flange. Okay, so if we want to get this N, M, okay, M is till the edge. So if we want to get this M, this overhang part, sorry, here vertically, it will be M, okay, vertical direction. So if this is the case, then how to get this M? So it's very simple to calculate now. If you want this N, you have this total dimension B, you are subtracting this supported part of the flange that is supported for the base plate 0.80 BF. So dividing by 2, you will getting these two overhanging parts on right and left. Divided by 2, you will get only one overhang part, that will be N. And for the M also, along the N, you are subtracting this 0.95 D and rest will be M. So in this way, you are getting your overhang for the base plate towards the flange and towards the web. Now FC prime in the design of the axially loaded base plate will be the concrete compressive strength in megapascal. A1 will be the area of the base plate, B into N. A2 will be the area of the supporting concrete foundation that is geometrically similar to the base plate. Geometrically it is similar, the value may be any one. So generally we are considered the ratio of A1 over A2 is A2 over A1 is equal to 2. Generally we consider that A2 over A1 is equal to 2. For the very basic, you can say, design, in start of the design, we can consider it as to double the area, the concrete foundation. But with respect to geometry, it will remain same. Okay, mean whatever the B dimension is there, mean if it will be rectangular, the concrete foundation be rectangular. If it will be square, then your concrete foundation be square. Generally, we are consider that. Phi C will be the resisting factor for bearing on the concrete. We're familiar with the values. It will be 0.65 in LRFD and 2.31 in ASD. PP is the ultimate capacity of the concrete in bearing, and you can get that ultimate capacity by using this formula, 0.85 FC prime A1 A2 over A1 whole square under root, and its value should be less than or equal to 1.7 FC prime A1. So it should be less than that. Okay, so if it will be greater, then maximum of this value you are using. When the concrete area is greater than the plate area, the bearing stress is increased due to the confinement provided by the extra concrete. That's obvious. So PU will be the affected axial load from the column. The base plate is assumed to bend about the critical sections perimeter of the central 0.85 BF into 0.95 D portion of the base plate as a cantilever beam subjected to the uniformly distributed bearing stresses. The cantilever span is the greater of M and N. The most economical base plate may be designed when the cantilever lengths in the two directions are equal and the concrete area is equal to the greater than 4 times the plate area. Okay, so 4 times or double, more, both will be okay. So what does it mean, this cantilever length, and what is the concept? That's very obvious. Again and again I need to draw this diagram. So you have the supported part. So if you are going to leave the supported part equal to 0.85 BF parallel to the flange and 0.95 D, this area, okay, if you are going to spare this area in between the supported area, okay, that one, then rest of the area is going to be act as an cantilever beam. Okay, so if you are going to mark a strip along the N direction and along the M direction, so this cantilever part of it going to be act as this whole part. Okay, so this is going to be act as an cantilever beam. So this cantilever beam is under the UDL, uniformly distributing, and under the base plate the bearing stresses are generated as in uniformly distributing over that particular part of it. So to avoid this situation, this is unsupported part along the N and M, mean along the B and N both. So this critical cantilever span should be greater than M and N. We are going to be calculating our M separately and N separately. Out of these, whatever the maximum, conceptually and logically, we have to provide on both of the sides for the safer design. And for the confinement effect, the concrete under the base plate, this area should be greater than, okay, so 4 times the plate area. So if M and N is lesser than either BF by 2 or D by 2, the area between the column flanges is to be checked for the bending. Okay, the method used to check this assume a uniform bearing stress distribution and result in a conservative but easy design. The procedure of this method involves the calculation of equivalent cantilever length L for bending within the flanges as follows. So now, other than M and N, another critical section has been needed to be considered, that is will be equal to N dash. Okay, so what is N dash is? If you are going to be having your base plate, again I am going to draw the same diagram, but now with the concept of this critical section. So we were talking about the supported part, that will be 0.85 of BF and 0.95 of D. So other than that, if this is, I am going to mark the supported section again. So this is the supported, you can say, part. So out of this supported part, again, this is the flange, this is the web. Okay, this wherever it the flange and the web has direct contact with the base plate, it is properly supported. But what about this region? This region is not going to be having any support directly. Okay, the effect from this flange can come over there, the effect from the flange can come over there, but practically this region between the webs, okay, this is going to give you an unsupported part. Okay, so that is also needed to be considered. Okay, so this will the overhang part will be the critical section M and N will be from the edge of the flange, but this distance from the starting of the web between the web here, it is needed to be considered. So this is practically going to be called as N dash. So N dash can be calculated as 1/4 of capital D into BF. Okay, so this area in between is needed to be sorted out, going to be considered as in critical section to produce the overturning or the unit for the case of the bending produced in that particular region. So that cantilever length is needed to be used. So now we have 3 critical lengths for which we can have the bending stresses, M and N dash, and out of this the maximum one will be the equivalent cantilever length small l. That is needed to be first sorted out, and then you can go for the further design. This note you can read by yourself. Now procedure. Procedure for design of axially loaded base plate. The procedure is started with the known values of the concrete pad A2, factored column load PU, depth of the section D, and the flange width of the section BF. If the concrete area is not known in the start, it is reasonably assumed and then it is revised later if required. Very simple flow chart is there for the procedure of the design, and very simpler equations and example problem we are going to solve it. So the required area of the plate is calculated as A1, the larger of this 2, mainly 2. Okay, this is the minimum criteria, third one. So mainly you can calculate by using this formula or this formula by 1, and by using this formula 2, and the minimum size needed to be satisfied in all the cases every time. This step you cannot miss. D plus 18 into BF plus 18 mean the cantilever part out of 0.8 after the 0.85 or mean ignoring that supported, just from the edge of D and BF on both of the sides of flange and the web, you are considering it equal to 18 millimeter on one side along the B, capital B dimension of the base plate, and 18 on the other side. This is the minimum cantilever length, mean the minimum extra space you have to provide for the base plate. Okay, but these two is going to give you, based on the bearing capacity of the concrete foundation, FC prime for the concrete, it is going to give you the actual values. So out of these, larger, the greater will be the final A1. The plate size B into N is determined such that M and N are approximately equal. So generally what we are going to do, whatever the A1 you are getting, so what we can do, we can take square root of it. Okay, equal B and equal N you are providing at start. If later on if it is required to revise, then you can revise it accordingly. Okay, so here in this slide is given a very simple procedure. You can see it by yourself. Sometimes we do not use, because we have this very initial criteria that just you are considering your base plate as a square plate, so do not need to be used that. So if it is required, if some student is do not want the square root, so he can go for that, so you can use it by yourself. Sizes are rounded to the nearest 10 millimeter of multiples. The area of the base plate A1 is then evaluated finally after rounding it. The exact values of the cantilever lengths in two directions and the equivalent cantilever length for the bending within the flanges are determined. So you are calculating N, you are calculating M, you are calculating N dash. Finally, the maximum out of these three critical sections, you are getting the final equivalent cantilever length. It will be L. The required plate thickness is calculated now. The final thing, B and N. We have three design parameters for the base plate. One is you have to decide about the B, then you have to decide about the capital N, and you have to decide about the thickness, TP. Okay, so first two we have done earlier. Now in this step, on this slide, we will discuss about the TP. TP formula is given. So nothing to do, you have the required plate thickness. So TP, that will be L into 2 PU over 0.90 Fy into Bn. Bn is already with you. PU is the given data, Fy is your given data, yield strength of the steel of the base plate, and small l is given. So what you can do, you can find out the thickness. Here the simple figure where the true hinge column base is given. Wherever the axial loaded base plates are there, we are going to be consider our connection towards from the column to the base plate as a hinge. So for the hinge, you can provide a true hinge over here. Okay, so this true hinge is going to be have a mechanism in which the plates is there, and you can provide a proper connecting element, and it will be going to be connected in that particular way. So you can see over here, this is again the next, here plates are provided, here angles are provided, and you can connect it. So your example, you have to design a hinged base plate for W360 into 314 columns having a total factor load of 5000 kilonewtons. Use A36 steel and the concrete of 17 megapascal compressive strength. So all of the things are with you. So you can just make a list of the given data, and you can assume for the starting as A2 is equal to doubles the area of the base plate. Mean area of the concrete foundation A2 is approximately double the area of the base plate. So you can calculate A1, that will be the larger of the first equation, and the minimum criteria 1 and 2 that we have been discussing earlier, 1 and 2. So out of these, the maximum one is from the first one, that is 407790. So you are taking square root of it and getting 640 by 640. So if you are rounding it up, mean whatever the value you are getting after taking square root, you just round it up, and finally you are getting 409600. That will be the actual A1 now, and this will be the B, and this will be the N. So in the later calculations, you can use these values. So A2 is double the area of the base plate. So it will be 910 into 910, and finally you are getting, after rounding it up, 8 millimeter. So then next step, N dash and M. Out of these, the maximum is L, equivalent cantilever length, and it comes out to be 160. So you can see over here, N is 160. Okay, N dash is lesser than that, 100, and M is 131. So out of these, the maximum is N. So you are providing this N as an equivalent cantilever length, and depending upon that, you can calculate the thickness formula and the inputting all of the values, and finally you are getting 52.7. So say 55 millimeter thick plate of size 640 into 640. You have to keep this designation in your mind. Okay, that this designation is required to be written in bold at the end as an answer. So your base plate is going to be designed as the 55 millimeter thick plate. You can add over here base plate. Okay, आप यहाँ पे एक base का word भी add कर सकते हैं. That is the base plate, or otherwise the plate will be okay. 55 millimeter thick plate of size 650 into 650 millimeter. Okay, so these are D into N, and this is your TP thickness. So finally it can be represented. You can show your results in this particular way.